Hey guys, it's Kyla at the MJC, and I am back today with the next form in our name change tutorial. This is the notice and order for the name change hearing. So I'll be walking you guys through how to fill that out today. But as always, before we get started, I just want to remind you that nothing in this video is intended to be legal advice. It's a video, so I'm not able to analyze your specific situation and to evaluate whether this is the right form for you, whether there could be a different process that makes sense, or to let you know about any red flags or challenges that might come up in your situation. So if you do have questions, I definitely recommend getting some legal advice. You can get brief legal advice for free here in Milwaukee County through the Marquette Volunteer Legal Clinics. If you're not located in Milwaukee County, you can contact the clerk of courts for your county to find out what resources are available in your area. All right, so we'll get started here. As with all of the forms we've been filling out, the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the county where we are filing. And again, I'm going to put Milwaukee, but you should make sure that yours is the county where you are filing. And now, this top section, which we call a caption, we're going to want to match our petition. So the same form is used for adult name changes and minor name changes. So we'll go through sort of both here. So if you are doing this for an adult, you just need it to match this top line. So you can see this is our adult name change, Jane Susan Doe. If we go back here, we'll just make sure that that line matches. Yep, so that's all you have to do if you're doing this for an adult or a minor child who is 14 or older. You don't need to fill in the petitioner or co-petitioner lines if you're doing this for an adult, and we don't have a case number yet. So if you're an adult, just put in the current name of the person whose name is to be changed on this line, and then skip down here. But what if you're filling this out for a minor child? So then we would go to, that's my adult one again. Let me pull up the minor child one. You would go to your minor child petition, and again, we want the name to match, and then we want the parent's name, the petitioner and the co-petitioner, if there is one, to match. So here, I want it to match. So this is for the minor child now. Don't get confused by this. Those of you doing adult name changes, I'm now doing it as if it were our minor child. And then I would put the petitioner here. Again, you only need to do that if you're doing the petition for a name change for a minor child. You don't need a petitioner if you are doing it for an adult. And you'll add a co-petitioner if your case has one, because again, we want the caption to look the same. So if you listed a co-petitioner here, you'll list a co-petitioner here as well. All right, so then the notice section. And for those of you who are doing the adult name change, I'm going to be using the name of our child here from the children's name change, but all of these lines are the same. So in this line, you're going to put the current name of the person whose name you're trying to change. So basically, the name that is listed up here, you're going to list here. Yes, it does get a bit repetitive, doesn't it? So, current name, and then here you're going to list the name that that person wants to go to. I'm sure you guys know that, but again, just for clarity's sake, if you're doing the adult name change, it should match up with this section of line 5 on the adult name change petition. If you were doing a name change for a minor child, it should match up with question 4, name that you want. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It should line up with number 7 for minor children. Number 5 for adults. Nope, see, I've messed that one up too. Thank goodness I checked myself. So it should match up with line 9 for an adult. The name you want to go to, it should match up with line 9. Even I have to go back and double check things every now and then. So for an adult, we want to make sure that this section here, this 2, matches up with line 9 of the adult petition. If you are doing a petition for minor children, you'll want to make sure that it lines up with number 7. So basically, hopefully my confusing explanation hasn't thrown you off at all. this is the name that the person who is changing their name wants to go to. All right. And then here, the birth certificate line, that is where you're going to put the name that is currently on the birth certificate of the person whose name is going to be changed. So for our minor child, that's where it's going to be line 4. Again, the birth certificate name. And for our adult, that is where it is going to be number 5, the birth certificate name. That should match up with this here. So again, the name you're going from, the name you're going to, and the name that currently appears on the birth certificate. And then here, we don't need to do this line because the court will enter the name of the judge and so forth. We can put the county because we know it's going to be Milwaukee County. If you are in a smaller county, if you're in one where that where like sometimes they might bring in a judge from another county, I don't think there are too many of those, but you could leave that blank as well if you're in a larger county like Milwaukee County, Dane County, Eau Claire. You're going to have, it's going to be your county. So you'll put in the county, leave the rest blank. The judge's clerk can fill that in. And then down here, we're not done yet. Everyone always forgets this section. Down here, so the hearing needs to be published. Notice of the hearing, this lovely form that we just filled out, has to be published in a newspaper for 3 consecutive weeks. And it has to be basically an acceptable newspaper in the county where you are, where you're located. So where we're filing, it would have to be a Milwaukee County newspaper. If you're filing in Dane County, it would have to be one of the Dane County papers. So what you can do is, if you are located in Milwaukee County, if you go to www.milwaukeejusticecenter.org, which may have been where you found this video, but on that section, talking about name change, we have a list of the few cheapest approved publications for the county. If you are not located in Milwaukee County, what you can do is contact the clerk of courts for your county and ask them if they have a list of approved publications for a name change publication or just for publishing legal notices. Because there are some rules about which publications meet the criteria, so you'll probably want to find out what they are. The other thing is, because a lot of people say, well, I'll just use the Journal Sentinel. As long as it meets the approved criteria, which I believe the Journal Sentinel does, you can theoretically use it, but I know here in Milwaukee, the Journal Sentinel is a lot more expensive than some of the other providers that do legal notices. But in any case, you'll find out what an acceptable publication is here in Milwaukee. Most commonly we have, and this is as of the time of recording this, which is December of 2020, the most common ones we see people use are the Milwaukee Community Journal or the Milwaukee Daily Reporter. And so I'm going to list, again, we'll say Jane decided to use the Milwaukee Community Journal because it is the cheaper of the two here in Milwaukee. And then a newspaper published in Milwaukee County, which is in the state of Wisconsin. So that is everything for this document. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope it wasn't too confusing. I know it got a little muddled there in the middle. But again, thanks for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful. If you do have questions, if my bouncing around got a little confusing, during non-pandemic times, you can find us in the Milwaukee Justice Center that's located in room G9 of the Milwaukee County Courthouse. Otherwise, until then, thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you all go out and represent yourselves well.